Before the dust of earth, before the breath of man, before time began to tick, there was harmony. Heaven sang in perfect order. Every star was a note, every angel a flame, every voice tuned to one name, the name of the Eternal. From his throne flowed light, and in that light no shadow dared to dwell. All was peace, beauty, worship. But among those radiant beings, one stood brighter than most. Lucifer, son of the morning, bearer of light. He was not evil, he was excellence, he was splendor. Scripture calls him the anointed cherub that covers, crafted with wisdom and perfection, his form woven with fire and gemstone. He walked in the courts of heaven, close to the flame of God's glory. Music and majesty flowed through him. Every sound he made was praise. But somewhere within that brilliance, a crack began to form, not of sound, but of will. Lucifer looked at the throne, and for the first time admired himself instead of the one he reflected. He had beauty, but he wanted ownership. He had light, but he wanted lordship. The first sin in the universe was not murder or theft, it was pride, a whisper within glory that said, "Why not me?" Isaiah records his heart, "I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." 5 I wills, 5 strikes against heaven's harmony, and with each the light dimmed in him, until brilliance became arrogance, and worship turned to war. Heaven shuddered, not because God was threatened, but because love had been betrayed, and war broke out, not with swords or spears, but with allegiance. 1/3 of heaven's host followed the morning star into madness. They traded worship for war, glory for ruin, and then a silence like thunder. The voice that once led the choirs of heaven was silenced by judgment. Lightning fell. Lucifer, once the light-bearer, became the adversary, the accuser, the ancient serpent. His fall was not just a punishment, it was a severing. The beauty that turned inward became corruption. The music of praise became the hiss of deception, and in that single fall, creation gained a shadow. Heaven mourned, but the throne did not move. God did not flinch. His sovereignty stood untouched. Because even rebellion cannot dethrone the eternal. Lucifer fell, but not into chaos. He fell into purpose, for even his rage would now serve redemption. He who once said, "I will ascend," would one day bow to the one who truly ascended. The story of evil did not begin in a garden, it began in glory, when light chose to look away from its source. And so began the fall before the fall. And so the light fell, but the throne did not move. Though pride rose in heaven, it could not reach the one who reigns above it. Though a creature reached for the crown, the Creator's glory stood untouched. Lucifer's fall was not the dimming of God's light, it was the proof that his light cannot be dimmed. No rebellion can bruise his reign. No darkness can drown his brilliance. No creature, no matter how radiant, can ever take the place of the Creator. He alone is God, from everlasting to everlasting. Before the first angel spread its wings, he was. After the last star burns out, he still will be. The heavens may tremble, the angels may fall, but the glory of God remains, unshaken, unchallenged, unending. The story of Lucifer's fall is not the story of God's defeat. It is the story of his dominion. Even in judgment, he reigns. Even in rebellion, he is holy. And when all creation is silent again, only one truth will stand eternal: the Lord is God, and his glory will never fall.